let's talk about something we've all faced. Standing in the grocery store, staring at the salmon and having no idea what to choose. We're gonna fix that right now.
You've been there, right? You see a whole sea of pink and orange fillets. Some look great, some look a little sad, there's wild, there's farmed, and all you want is to pick something delicious for dinner. It can be seriously overwhelming.
But hey, that's exactly why we're here. We're gonna arm you with a super simple toolkit so you can walk up to that fish counter and know exactly what you're doing.
And that's a promise. No more guessing games, just the know-how to bring home the freshest, best quality salmon for your next meal.
So why all the fuss? Why does picking the right salmon matter so much? Well, because a great piece of salmon isn't just dinner, it's a nutritional powerhouse.
I mean, just look at this. It's absolutely loaded with high-quality protein, those incredible omega-3 fatty acids that are so good for your brain and heart, plus other great stuff like selenium. So yeah, making a good choice here really pays off.
Okay, let's get down to business. Imagine you're standing at the fish counter right now. Your best tools are the ones you were born with, your senses, and we're going to break down exactly how to use them.
Just think of it as a super simple 3-step test. First, you look. Then you smell. And finally, if you can, you touch. Let's dig into what you're looking for at each stage.
First up, your eyes. They're your first line of defense. You want to see a beautiful, vibrant, pinkish-orange color, maybe with a nice glossy look to it. If you see salmon that looks dull or has brownish or grayish spots, that's a huge red flag that it's past its prime.
Now, this one is a huge mythbuster. Fresh fish should not smell fishy. A high-quality piece of salmon should have a very mild, clean smell, kind of like the ocean. If you get a strong, unpleasant fishy smell or anything like ammonia, that's the smell of decay. Trust your nose and walk away.
Okay, step 3, touch. If you're buying an unwrapped fillet, give it a gentle poke with your finger. Fresh salmon should be firm and spring right back. If your finger leaves a dent or the fish feels soft and mushy, that's a sign the texture is breaking down. That's a pass. And here's one more little pro tip for your eyes. See the white lines in the fillet? They should look nice and tight. If you see them separating, creating little cracks or gaps in the meat, that's called gaping. It's often a sign of poor handling or that the fish is just getting old. Go for a fillet that looks smooth and solid.
So, your senses will get you most of the way there. But don't forget about the person standing right behind the counter. They can be your best friend in this process.
Seriously, don't be shy. A good fishmonger is a gold mine of information. Ask them when the fish came in, ask if it's wild or farmed, and definitely ask if it's been frozen before, which leads us right into our next big point.
So what's the real difference here? Well, wild-caught salmon usually has a more beneficial ratio of those healthy omega fats. But farm salmon is still a fantastic source of nutrients, and it's almost always more affordable. There's no single right answer. It really just depends on your priorities and your budget.
Okay, we have talked a lot about the fresh fish counter, but now I want you to completely rethink how you look at the frozen aisle, because it might just be hiding the freshest fish in the entire store.
Let's just ask the question straight up. We're all conditioned to believe that fresh is always the best. But when you think about how far fish has to travel to get to your store, is that really true?
And the answer is a big, surprising nope. A lot of the best salmon is actually flash frozen, often right on the fishing boat just minutes after it's caught. This process instantly locks in the flavor, the texture, and all those nutrients at their absolute peak. That frozen fillet can easily be fresher than the one that's been sitting at the fresh counter for a few days.
So what do you look for in the frozen section? It's simple. You want a package that's vacuum sealed really tight. No air pockets. You also want to avoid seeing a lot of ice crystals inside the bag. That can be a sign it's been thawed and refrozen. And of course, steer clear of any white, leathery patches of freezer burn.
Okay, you did it. You used your senses, you asked the right questions, and you picked out a gorgeous piece of salmon. But your job is not quite done yet. What you do next is critical. The second that salmon goes into your cart, a clock starts ticking. You've really got to get it into your fridge or freezer within about 2 hours. If you're going to cook it in the next day or two, the fridge is fine. Any longer than that, wrap it up tight and pop it in the freezer to keep it perfect.
Whew, okay, I know that was a lot of info. So let's boil it all down into a simple, memorable checklist you can mentally pull up on your next grocery trip.
Here it is, your cheat sheet. Look for that vibrant, glossy color. Trust your nose. It should smell clean, like the ocean. Go for a firm texture. Remember that high-quality frozen salmon is your friend. And finally, get it home and into the cold ASAP.
It really is that simple.
And there you have it. You now have all the tools you need to walk up to any fish counter and pick a winner with total confidence. The only question left is, what part of the grocery store should we conquer next?